Hey, TLR fam. It's Gavin Hansen, and I'm going to be giving you sort of a Journalism 101. These are the things that they teach you first time you get into a newsroom, and we're just going to be putting them up in segments on here so that you guys can produce better content. And just so you guys know, again, this isn't something that I've made up. This is all going to sound pretty hokey at first, but it is what you're taught when you get into a newsroom for the first time. And these are things not only that you have to do so that we as a platform, a publisher have credibility, but also because it makes you better writers and because it'll make you a more respected journalist. And if you want to go anywhere with what you're writing here, you're going to have to know these things. So, there will be no pop quiz at the end, but we're going to go over some kind of meaty things that'll hopefully make the copy that you give me and Camellia a little bit better. So, first of all, the first lesson that you learn when you're writing news is about the inverted pyramid. It's called the inverted pyramid because it's about information. Your densest information goes at the top of your story because 90% of your readers are only going to read the first sentence. And that's if we can get them to click with a good headline. So the reason why it's called inverted is because you have most of your information, yes, up here at the very top in that first sentence, but your actual story looks like that. Your first part of your article is just one sentence long. The second part of your article is probably only two. And you get longer paragraphs from then on out, and you have media in the center there, sure. But you really want to build out from this first sentence, your lead paragraph. Right here on your little fake news story that I have drawn up here. After your headline, right here, your headline, comes your lead paragraph. And right there, you'll hopefully be able to follow along with the story that I've posted in conjunction with this, which is just a very basic rewrite that I did for the Daily Caller. In this lead paragraph is where you get, in this story, which is entitled for your enjoyment, woman injures 14 children in a knife attack in China. Dark stuff. Sorry about the topic, but it's just a really basic one. It's the first one I clicked on. So your lead for that one is a woman used a kitchen knife to slash the faces of 14 children who are walking to kindergarten classrooms in a Chinese city. It tells you where. It tells you what happened. That's it. Gives you the straight news. Most people are only going to read this part, so this has to be awesome. You typically don't want this to go over 25 words. And right below that, in your second paragraph, here represented slightly longer, you have what is called the nut. And I'm not kidding. It's actually called the nut paragraph. Here, we'll clean this up a little bit for you. Yeah, here's the nut. And I've struggled not to laugh every time somebody's told me about this. But that's where you get that the report came from, what police, where, how old the woman was, what happened, where it happened, and why. The who, what, when, where, why, as I'm sure you've all heard about before. Here, we'll do, who, what, when, where, why. And you got your five W's. Make sure to get all of these within those first two paragraphs. In the lead and in the nut is where you want every single one of those answered. From there on out, you can start building. You get more specific as you go down this pyramid. Toward the end is where you're doing sort of the niche stuff that hopefully gets somebody's attention and hopefully makes them comment, something like that. So yeah, we covered that we are doing the inverted pyramid. We covered that it gets longer and more specific toward the bottom. But another important thing is media, how we handle media. All of our stories, if we're doing news stories, should have one piece of media, be that a video or a tweet that we can embed. These things are really, really good for SEO and really push your story out. When we get your story on Facebook and Twitter, that does not guarantee clicks. The algorithms that dictate Facebook and Twitter dictate how many clicks you get and how well you write it is how many shares you get. Don't worry about headlines for now. Me and Camellia will handle headlines. We'd be happy to take your pitches on headlines, 3 at a time if you can. And we might not use any of them, but please do submit your choices for headlines. But besides that, then we're going to work on sentence structure just a little bit. As you saw in the lead and the nut of the article that I've linked, and also you will notice every single other sentence, the sentences follow a very predictable format. You basically give a fact, and then after you say the fact is where you say where it's from. And that's how that works. And every single time that you say where you got that fact from, you cite it. You cite it with a hyperlink. All right? That's how you write news. We're not going to be as strict on this as the Daily Caller was to me. We're not going to do this as strictly as if you're just rewriters, because we do want depth to your pieces. We don't just want you rewriting what the Daily Caller or what CNN wrote today. We're happy to actually take on good writers and see what you guys have to put out there. But so long as you're making your lead paragraph the most important one, so long as you're filling out that information in the nut, I mean, that's 99% of your readers. Most people are going to leave an angry comment after they get through the nut. I mean, the people that leave angry comments on Facebook aren't the people that read the whole thing. They almost never are. You can make your case and make sure that you're totally, rhetorically sound to every Facebook comment later so that you can tell them, did you read it? But if you want to be putting the facts out there correctly, which is what news is, and that's what we're talking about, then all of that information's up here. All right? Anything that you want to be fighting about in Facebook comments or whatever, that goes here. That goes at the bottom. The rest of this, the only things that I can see that might matter are this 311, and that's for links. I want, at least for every news story, I want 3 outside links for where you're getting the information that you're talking about. I want 1 piece of media, so that's a tweet or a video from YouTube or something similar. You can talk to me about it or Camellia, and I'm sure we'll make it work. And 1 internal link, so that means just Google the Libertarian Republic and any words that might be associated with what you're writing. That said, I think that's a pretty good framework for this. Let's hope that take is usable, and hopefully this helps some of you newer writers or guys who haven't written news before get some content out, because this will make it way easier for me and Cam to get your stuff out. All right, great. See ya. One more quick thing, guys, I did not handle in this take very well is the delineation between news and opinion. This video was clearly handling just news. That's most of what we're going to be asking from you guys. But when it comes to news versus opinion, the most important thing is making sure that it's clear which one it is that you're writing. We don't ever want opinion masquerading as news. We just don't do that here. We have garnered a very, very good reputation so far for being able to show the difference between these two things. So when you write news, that's why it has to be structured like all this, It has to be structured because it's news. This is presentation of the facts, whereas your opinion pieces can be fun and fluffy and talk about, whatever you want, sometimes hot or cold. But when we are writing news, we are writing just, the news. the news. There we go. But yeah, please feel free to ask me any questions you have. I'm sure that me and Cam are going to be able to push any of your content out rather quickly. And Let's go to work making some kick-ass content, guys. All right.